buckle in. This one's going to be long, but I thought I would take you along as I create a piece in oil pastel. And this is actually a bit of a political piece. I have been loving getting to play with my oil pastels. Before this year and getting back into my sketchbook in 2026, I did not understand how to use oil pastels. They made zero sense to me. Anything that I would create, I would just feel like it was too messy. I don't know. It didn't vibe. I was not vibing with the oil pastels, and now I freaking love them. I love how bright they are. In retrospect, as I'm watching this piece come together and doing the voiceover, I actually kind of wish I had left some more white space to the page. Spoiler alert, the whole thing is covered. But, we play and we learn, and we experiment and we learn. The piece that I'm creating right now is actually from a reference photo and a party that dates all the way back to, I believe it's 1998, to a party that was actually held on the Great Lawn in front of the Parliament buildings. I know that for the past however many years, there has been nothing but a giant hole, and it is the least welcoming space, the Parliament buildings. The late 90s in Ottawa, not just Ottawa, but this is the scene that I was in, is very much the rave culture and a movement that was really important in time. And we also used that movement and that community to have a say in what was happening in the world around us. So I do believe that this was 1998. I don't have a record of it. This is well before the age of constant surveillance. It was well before the age of the full internet being used as it is today, definitely before the age of social media. I'm attributing it to the year of 1998 because 1998 was also when the Congo War had erupted. And as you'll see later in this painting, one of the main signs that was up over this tent says tribal dance, not tribal war. So it was a way for us as citizens, as a community, to get together and have a peaceful protest against what was happening in the world. I think, first of all, I've had to repeat this 5, 6, 7 times. My phone keeps suddenly just turning off, which there's no reason. I have battery. So I don't know if this is a Big Brother's listening case, but too bad. I will persist. Because this is what we must do in today's society, where we're just constantly bombarded with the atrocities that the 1% are doing to the earth, are doing to us as humans. I think it's important to remember that we as citizens, we as community, have the numbers to make a difference, to have people, band together and create peaceful protests, to make changes, to make sure that we are in constant contact and communicate with the powers that be, and also in a capitalist society to make sure that we are double thinking where we're spending our hard-earned dollars and trying as much as we can to avoid having it go to the powers that be that will then take that money and use it for evil. It's the same idea that I use towards my environmental movement that I have, championed in my life. One way that I make sure that I'm putting my dollars where I want them to, and I'm trying to affect change, is by supporting the companies that are actually thinking about their environmental impact, changing their packaging, not relying on the single-use plastics. And so in that way, the more that people do that, the more people that band together and do that, that individual choices that we make can grow into a collective consciousness that then forces the hand because, oh, look, they're not buying our product anymore because it's not in plastic. Or, oh, look, we're not being supported anymore because we are funding these wars, putting money where we don't want it to be spent. honestly, there are so many different issues that we need to tackle as citizens of this earth. But I think it really comes down to those small steps, the small changes that we make. It makes it more tangible in our own lives, something that seems more readily accomplished. But all of those small steps can make a huge difference. Going back to the art creation, here I am putting together a few little people that are watching and dancing to the DJ that is under this tent. I find it lovely and easy and fun to create individuals and figuration in just a few simple strokes. It's a lot easier to me to be able to do that versus what's actually on the opposite spread to this page is self-portrait of myself, which I tried to do in watercolor the night before, and I completely botched the face. And so then I had to go in. I was like, no, again, I was like, I will persist. I will not leave this face all messed up. And so then I had to cover it over with some, I couldn't do it in watercolor. So I had to go over with acrylic, and I saved it as much as I could. I'm at least happy with it. It's still not an ideal portrait of myself, but it's as good as I could get it to be. And practice is practice, baby. And here I'm going in with some fine point markers to add in the writing to these signs. I realized that there was not a chance that I would be able to use that tiny real estate and make it happen with a brush. I mean, I barely made it happen with a pen, to be fair. But so yeah, I think with this is my watercolor little Funto sketchbook that I'm using. And it's because it's new. And what I've been doing with it up until now was actually, as I looked through the few pages, there's mostly flowers. And I was like, wait, do I associate watercolor with flowers only? And so I decided to break free from that because I'm not excited about having a sketchbook that's filled with only flowers. Which still probably might happen because let's face it, I do like to paint flowers. It's not like I don't like painting flowers. They're in every single one of my works pretty much. But yeah, I wanted to kind of like break the vibe up a little bit and do some figuration and also have a political say in my work as well.